Welcome, wrestling fans, to Madison Square Garden, where tonight the greatest wrestlers in the world unite for a special occasion. It'll be 8-man battle royal action featuring some of the greatest from around the world. From there, tag team matchup featuring members of the Unified Forces, the Iron Sheik, and Nikolai Volkov going up against members of the Cobra Corps, Bob Backlund and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, with Tony Atlas in their corner. From there, the team of Rowdy Roddy Piper, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and Cowboy Bob Orton will take on a mystery trio. The Intercontinental Championship on the line when Tito Santana looks to regain the championship from the man who took it from him, Bret the Hitman Hart. The tag team titles will be decided tonight. The Dream Team, Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, to defend the titles against the Killer Bees. In a boot camp match, Yokozuna will go one-on-one with the leader of the Cobra Corps, Sergeant Slaughter. And in our main event, inside a specially constructed steel cage, it will be the 8th wonder of the world, the reigning heavyweight champion Andre the Giant, to defend that title in a way that it's never been defended before against the incredible Hulk Hogan. This is Wrestlemania.
Welcome, wrestling fans, here to the Nation Network, and this is Wrestlemania. The talk is over, the time is now, and we are ready for action to kick off here live from Madison Square Garden. And oh, what a night of wrestling it is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Mean Gene, I'm looking forward to this. It is going to be a tremendous night of action indeed as we get ready to kick things off with the big battle royal. But how about that main event? I mean, everyone in this building is buzzing about the main event.
How can you not be talking about that? Ladies and gentlemen, my understanding It's not going to be your traditional steel cage match. This one has a roof on it. It is going to keep everyone from the Heenan family outside and make sure that there is a clear-cut winner. There must be a pinfall or a submission. There's not going to be any other outcome to this matchup tonight. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to kick things off. Some of the participants already inside the squared circle. Let's take you right now to the main arena. S.D. Jones making his way to the ring right now for this big 8-man over the top rope. $20,000, I might add, on the line to the winner of this one. Superstar Billy Graham making his way to the ring.
Well, this is a bit of an international flavor as well, as we see a couple of familiar faces from the Japanese team. We're going to be seeing Antonio Inoki as well as the Giant Baba in this match, and you'd have to think that the Giant Baba might be the favorite.
Well, he's definitely going to be the biggest challenge in the Rumble. They're going to have to figure a way to get that big man over that top rope. But you look at a guy like Superstar Billy Graham and the way he's put together, if anybody would be capable of doing it, it would be the Superstar.
Well, of course, the former world champion, the former tag team champion, he's had a rough go of things for the last couple of months here in the WWF.
Well, indeed, things have not been going exactly the way he would like to see them. But perhaps tonight can turn a new page. I mean, hey, starting out with a $20,000 payday wouldn't be a bad way.
No, I can think of a lot worse.
Gorilla Monsoon ringside. S.D. Jones is there. And it is just gonna be the who's who. The biggest event of its kind in many a year, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take that back. The biggest event of its kind ever. As we take a look at the Magnificent One.
Well, Don Morocco coming down the aisle right now. The Magnificent One, no stranger to Madison Square Garden, no stranger to bright lights and spotlights. This guy has had title matches in this arena unlike anyone else, and of course he's had historic feuds for the Intercontinental Championship, a title he once held.
Well, indeed, the Magnificent One, Don Morocco, The Rock, as he refers to himself, living up to that name.
Yeah, there'll never be another Rock, I can tell you that.
Fans around here like to refer to him as a beach bum, but I'll tell you what, you might not like the man, but you can't take away the talent that he possesses. He is one of the best to step inside that squared circle. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him challenging for the world title at some point in time.
Well, he's been there before. He almost took the title away from Bob Backlund. Couldn't quite get it done. Working his way back up the ladder as we speak. And again, come away with a big win here in the opening match of Wrestlemania, an event that I guarantee you is going to redefine our industry as we know it.
There have been many supercards of professional wrestling over the years, fans, but I am telling you right now, there's been nothing that's even gonna come close to comparing to tonight. Nothing at all. Ken Patera heading in to the big battle royal, and think about this, Ken Patera, Superstar Billy Graham, tag team partners. You think they'll be working together?
Well, I think they'd be smart to work together, at least to get Baba out of there. But at the end of the day, there's only one check, and only one man's going to remain.
You know, there are those that might think that he and Superstar Billy Graham might have a deal where it doesn't matter which one of us is left and we'll just split the money 50-50. But I can tell you right now, I don't think either one of them would live up to that bargain.
No, I wouldn't trust either one of them with that deal.
The Olympic strongman, Ken Patera. Intercontinental title will be on the line later on tonight. Take a look at this. Antonio Inoki. He is the reigning IWGP Heavyweight Champion, which is the highest title that they have in Japan.
And their opponents from Hiroshima, Japan, weighing in at 238 pounds, the International Wrestling Grand Prix Heavyweight Champion, Antonio Inoki.
The IWGP Heavyweight Champion of the world, and again, in Japan, this guy is as well known as Hulk Hogan is here. He is a household name in Japan. He's highly respected, and clearly he is the best of the best that country has to offer. Now, he is right here, Madison Square Garden.
Indeed, that bell has sounded. The match is officially underway. One of these 8 men is about to become $20,000 richer. Who will it be? Monsoon right away going after SD Jones, and take a look at the tag team of Patera and Superstar Billy Graham. They're not working together at all.
Well, that is a real big surprise to me. I thought for sure that would make a lot more sense for them to team up, but they went right at each other.
Well, I'll say this much right now. They had a big victory at Saturday night's main event that has propelled them back into the title picture at some point in time as they beat the #1 contenders, the team that will be actually competing here tonight for the tag team title, being the Killer Bees. But how are they going to be any successful in that endeavor if they can't even get along here?
It is going to be something to watch, no doubt about it. The Killer Bees, you mentioned them, getting ready for a big title match tonight, coming in on a losing note. Not only a loss, but a submission defeat. And you have to wonder, how much damage does that do to the psyche?
Somebody just went over the top rope, trying to see who it is, and I don't think they made it to the floor, however.
Now, it looks like all 8 still in the ring, but that was a close call. I believe it was SD Jones that we saw going over the top.
SD now with Pedro Morales locking up. And again, these are guys you would normally suspect would be friends. Billy Graham getting into the throat of Antonio Inoki.
Well, it should be noted that in a Battle Royal, those kind of moves are normally illegal, but everything's legal in the Battle Royal. The only rule, and it's a really simple one, you have to throw your opponent over the top rope. Both feet have to hit the floor. They are eliminated. The last man remaining is the winner.
Well said. And now Morocco and Antonio Inoki locking up. There's a matchup I wouldn't mind seeing.
That's the other great thing about these Battle Royals. You get these momentary pairings where you can see a dream match taking place. And look at Patera, the strength of Patera, as he's got Gorilla Monsoon pressed overhead.
400 pounds of Gorilla Monsoon pressed overhead, and I don't know you're ever going to see that anywhere else. Morales almost eliminated, but managed to hold on to the top rope. Superstar Billy Graham now opening up on the Giant Mama, but having no effect. And now the tag team working again. Well, no, short-lived again.
For a moment there, it looked like they had things going the right way, and there goes SD Jones.
Now the magnificent Morocco taking him out. Oh, there goes Mama. Morocco eliminating the Giant Mama here at WrestleMania.
Well, already some surprises, in my opinion. Seeing Baba taken out that early on and that easily. There goes Pedro.
Oh, they're starting to drop now, and I would say that Gorilla Monsoon is the biggest challenge right now in the ring. He's definitely the biggest contender. Superstar Billy Graham outpowering Monsoon in that matchup, but now turns his attention to the Rock Don Morocco.
Ken Patera really impressing me here in this Battle Royal. And Superstar Billy Graham once again turning on his tag team partner. You have to wonder if there'll be some bad feelings lingering beyond this.
Well, it's technically all business, which I understand. Only one man walks away with it all, but you would still think they would do something to make sure that they work together and get at least down to the last two.
Now, they're not only doing that, but they're focusing on one another. Perhaps they see each other as the biggest threat as Morocco is eliminated.
The IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Antonio Inoki, dispatching of the magnificent Morocco, and he's not too happy about it. We are halfway through this big battle royal, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Inoki unload, and then he turns his attention to superstar Billy Graham. He's taken out both members of Twisted Steel. Superstar Billy Graham is eliminated.
Oh, that time he couldn't connect with Patera, but he's got that rear waistline. Look at Patera. Oh, he got caught.
And Monsoon comes up with a big clothesline, and now, which of these three men has what it takes to survive? Monsoon has got Inoki up against the rope, and now Patera going after Gorilla Monsoon, goes after a big 400-pounder, and now there goes Ken Patera. He's eliminated. And now Monsoon against Antonio Inoki.
Let's talk about history. When it comes to Gorilla Monsoon, he and Antonio Inoki have one thing in common. That is that they both stepped inside the squared circle against boxing champion Muhammad Ali.
Oh, indeed they did. Ali in preparation for a match with Antonio Inoki, challenging Gorilla Monsoon on a Saturday morning, only to find himself in the airplane spin. Antonio Inoki now with Gorilla up against the ropes. The IWGP World Champion trying to eliminate the biggest and the final competitor here in the Battle Royal. Gorilla Monsoon is in trouble.
He's going to have to do something to hold on. You see him putting his arm down there to brace himself, and he manages to fight his way back inside the Battle Royal.
$20,000 hanging precariously for both of these men off the... Oh, he caught him! Inoki was about to be eliminated. But Monsoon right back with the big clothesline. And now Antonio Inoki up against the ropes. Monsoon has him, and he's going to try and dispatch him. Now Inoki going to have to find a way to survive. He can. No! Monsoon gets the win.
That was a massive victory right there for Gorilla Monsoon, no doubt about it.
It doesn't get any bigger. It doesn't get any better, ladies and gentlemen. What a battle royal to kick things off here at WrestleMania. As we take a look back at some of the moments in this one, and there were a lot of great moments. There was one, Morocco eliminated by, I'll tell you what, Antonio Inoki, I've always been impressed with him, but tonight he really went above and beyond. There you see him taking out one half of Twisted Steel. Here he takes care of the other half.
He just couldn't get past that last stumbling block that was Gorilla Monsoon, and we knew going in it was between Gorilla Monsoon and the Giant Baba as the two biggest guys in this thing.
Not sure what Vegas was calling for, but I'll tell you, I'm not surprised. Tremendous way to kick things off. We'll be back with our next match, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Nation Network, your home for all things pro wrestling. From classic video games to the latest releases, we dive deep into wrestling past and present. Step into the ring with Legends Mania, where dream matches come alive as legends clash with today's top stars. Join the conversation on Wrestle Chat, our podcast breaking down the biggest stories and hottest events in wrestling today.
Leave an island unto my own.
And don't miss the voice of Ultra Pro Wrestling, Vince McShane, right here on the Nation Network. This is the place where wrestling lives, breathes, and never sleeps. Hit subscribe and let's run wild together.
All right, fans, we are back here in Madison Square Garden. Wrestlemania, and it's already delivered.
Well, this one's going to deliver just as much, I'll tell you right now, Mean. We have seen the bad blood between the Unified Allies. What do they call themselves anymore?
The following is a tornado tag team match. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 578 pounds, the Iron Sheik and Nicole.
The unified nation, indeed. Here we see Iran, Russia coming together with the Sheik and Volkov. And as we just heard, this will be a Texas Tornado match. That means all four competitors will be legal right from the opening bell. There'll be no tagging in and tagging out, and they will compete until one member is either made to tap out or one member manages to submit.
And their opponents, accompanied by Tony X. Left at a combined weight of 504 pounds, Bob Backlund and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Core.
As we take a look at the Cobra Corps heading down the aisle. Bob Backlund, Hacksaw Jim Duggan have been selected by Sergeant Slaughter to go to battle against the Sheik and Volkov. Watching their flank will be Tony Atlas, Mr. USA himself.
Well, Bob Backlund, of course, is no stranger here to Madison Square Garden. He is a long-reigning World Heavyweight Champion. The fans remember him, and he is a great American, and tonight he is going to prove that.
Well, I, for one, am very anxious to see the bell sounds. Action underway as these four men get right at it. Bob Backlund, the Iron Sheik, matching up. A lot of history between those two, fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, Bob Backlund with some perhaps unresolved issues when it comes to the Iron Sheik.
Last time we saw Bob Backlund in action, he was taking a little bit of a beating. That was on Saturday night's main event. And we wondered just how much he's got left in the tank after that match.
Indeed, they would go on to victory that night, but it took a lot out of out of Bob Backlund. And Backlund, he's got a steel chair. It's all legal. This is all legal in this one. Texas Tornado rules, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not something we're normally used to seeing out of Bob Backlund, but this is not a normal situation. He beats that chair over the back of Nikolai Volkov, and the big Russian in trouble. Now, it should be noted that the pinfall or submission must take place inside the squared circle, so any submissions you might gain on the floor will not matter. And look at Hacksaw. He is stomping away on the Iron Sheik.
Well, we talk about history. The Iron Sheik, the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan have got plenty of history together. As a matter of fact, there was times where they've run the roads and just continued that feud, or some assessment of it, I suppose.
Well, they did try working out a peace brokerage, is my understanding. Something fell apart when they made it to the state of New Jersey. And now Duggan hooks the leg of the Iron Sheik, but the Sheik able to kick out. Again, former World Heavyweight Champion and the Iron Sheik, former Tag Team Champion as well.
Duggan was one of the television champions here in the WWF. So we're talking about a very decorated group of four gentlemen right now.
There's the power slam on Volkov. Referee into position for the count. There's one. He's got two. And Volkov able to come out the back door just in time. Off the rope, back out front. Nice duck underneath. Oh, and Volkov with that big size. I don't even know if I'd call it an advantage over Duggan, but he's got that frame, and he just hit him with every single ounce of it.
Meantime, we got Bob Backlund continuing his long-standing feud with the Iron Sheik, who he just threw out to the floor. Backlund again going underneath the ring. He's got a baseball bat. And now he turns the baseball bat on Nikolai Volkov. Sergeant Slaughter made it clear, hand-to-hand combat, this is war. And these guys have followed those instructions implicitly.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, this has broken down. This is not a wrestling match. This is an all-out battle. It is a war. And here comes the cross-faced chicken. Wing, and it's on him. And that's it. It's all over. Volkov forced to tap out. A big win for the Cobra Corps, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow, what a matchup.
Well, this thing lived up to the billing. We knew it was going to be an exciting match. We knew it was going to be a hard-hitting match. And we knew, imagine, based on what we just saw, what do you think's going to happen in the bunkhouse match later tonight between Sergeant Slaughter and Yokozuna?
I can only imagine, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be one for the record book. I can assure you of that. Tony Atlas was calling it from ringside. Second in command, Tony Atlas, leading his troops to victory here at Madison Square Garden as part of WrestleMania.
You can see that right there. Look at him cinching back on the neck of Nikolai Volkov.
And Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Cool.
Big win for the Cobra Corps. We'll be back with more WrestleMania. Stay with us.
Well, let me tell everybody something. America is back. 2024 was a great year. And in 2025, we made the decision to make America great again. And what better way? With real American beer. We're bringing America back together in 2025 with real American beer. So what you gonna do when real American beer and all my Hulkamaniacs run wild on you?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
All right, wrestling fans, we are back and ready. Here comes the big six-man tag team matchup. Piper's Pit Rowdy, Roddy Piper, the television champion, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and Ace Cowboy Bob Orton heading down the aisle.
Combined weight of 717 pounds. Ace Cowboy Bob Orton. Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper.
They don't know who their opponents are going to be. Piper was shooting his mouth off saying, hey, there's nobody out there that can stand up to us, and we want a match at WrestleMania. President Jack Tunney issued the verdict on Saturday night's main event, says, I found 3 men willing to go head-to-head with you.
Well, we're about to find out who those 3 men are, and I, for one, can't wait to find out. Oh, take a look at this.
Oh, my word.
At a combined weight of 734 pounds, Tama Haku and Jimmy Snuka, the Islanders.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka along with the Islanders. His cousin Tama recently attacked by Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Pile driven on the floor over a month ago. He hasn't been back in a wrestling ring since until tonight.
Well, not only that, but a couple of weeks ago on Piper's Pit, we saw what happened to Superfly Jimmy Snuka as he was attacked by Roddy Piper. And tonight, they look to extract some revenge right here on all three men at one time.
The bell sounds, action is underway, and here we go. Piper kicking things off with a knee lift. These Islanders setting Haku to start the battle out. He is a tough son of a gun, I can tell you that right now. He can take a walloping. Roddy Piper can also hand one out.
Yeah, Piper right now off to a very good start against a tough, strong individual in Haku. And you know what? As much as we will say about Roddy Piper and some of his tactics, some of his antics that we don't necessarily agree with here, he's starting the match off. He could have been hiding behind Orton. He could have been hiding behind Orndorff, but no, he's out there as the leader of his team, and he's going straight at him.
Piper into the turnbuckle he goes, and now Haku makes the tag, and now Tama gonna look for some retribution here. Double team, Piper to the ropes, back out from the double elbow, finding the mark. Down to the middle rope he goes, off with an elbow right to the chest, and now suddenly Roddy Piper not liking it so much. Tama looking to extract revenge here on Roddy Piper. Big headbutt, and down goes the hot rod.
Tama making him pay for everything that was done to him a month ago.
All roads lead to WrestleMania. Oh, the chop to the throat. Tama really making Piper pay the price now. Perhaps the rowdy one having second thoughts on some of his actions in the past, along with starting this matchup. And now here comes the Superfly.
Well, there's definitely bad blood between Superfly Jimmy Snuka and Roddy Piper, and where better than WrestleMania to settle it up.
Snuka unloading on the hot rod, and he desperately needs to make the tag out. Snuka biting the head of Roddy Piper now.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka wasn't always cheered by the fans, and even though he is now, that doesn't mean that he's lost all of the tactics that he used to use and employ when he was under the leadership of Captain Lou Albano. There's the tag made now to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. I could argue Orndorff is the real reason for all of this happening right here tonight. Pile driving Tama on the concrete floor, totally unnecessary.
Well, indeed. As a matter of fact, he didn't even do it to get a win necessarily. He got a win by a countout. Could have easily done it in the ring, got a pinfall. He tried to end the career of the young man, and now Superfly Jimmy Snuka has to be careful not to fall into the same trap. Tag is made now. Here comes Cowboy Bob Orton. At first into the turnbuckle, and Snuka has been split wide open. Superfly Jimmy Snuka is in trouble. Orton going to work in the corner, choking out the Superfly. You see, there's the tag made, and Tama makes it into the ring.
Just in the nick of time, perfectly timed tag right there, and Tama, once again, he wants to get his hands on each member of Piper's Pit.
Crossbody takes him down, and the referee goes for the count. Orndorff there to make the save. And now Tama, for the first time, has his hands on Orndorff. And unloads. He's got Orndorff down across the top rope, Mr. Wonderful.
Orndorff sent out here to the floor, and he's not even sure where he's at right now. He looked up, saw Haku, and says, hey, I'm in the wrong corner.
Tama doing a number now on Ace Cowboy Bob Orton, the self-professed bodyguard of Roddy Piper. Tama down from the top rope. There's the splash, and that's all she wrote. Goes for the cover, gets one. Save made by Piper. This one would have been over.
Well, I'll tell you what, the time off seems to have worked because Tama never looked this good.
He is definitely ready for the match. He is definitely psyched, mentally prepared for the combat happening here tonight. Let's also not forget, Piper and his team had no idea who they would be facing here at WrestleMania. No time to prepare, whereas the other team has just been waiting. Chomping at the bit, as they say. Look at this submission hold locked on, and Cowboy Bob's going to have to find a way out if he can, and he does.
See him using that back elbow. You got to be careful, though. He's got that cast on his arm, and he'll use that as well. We've seen that in the past.
Yeah, that suspicious injury that seems to be lingering for quite some time. And now Orndorff making the tag in. Tama with his first chance to really go one-on-one with the man who darn near ended his career. Look at this, would you? Mr. Wonderful indeed. Never met a mirror he didn't like. There's a tag made in the meantime behind him, and it's Superfly Jimmy Snuka lining himself up, going one-on-one with the television champion. To the ropes, Orndorff gets caught with an arm drag. Nicely done by the Superfly. As we see that wound still perhaps bothering Snuka, and now Orton into the match.
Well, lucky for Snuka, it's off to the side next to his left eye, so it's not flowing straight into his vision. And for that reason, I think the referee's going to allow this to go without any real problem. But if it gets any worse or if it starts to impede his vision, that's when the referee has to step in and take a look at it and see if whether or not they have to call this match off.
Butterfly suplex by the Superfly on Roddy Piper. And a flying drop kick as well. The Superfly in control. Look at him unloading on the Rowdy one. Snuka with a nice kick right upside the ear, and Roddy Piper is down. Back body drop, and Snuka all the way to the floor he goes.
Solid concrete here at Madison Square Garden, and Snuka landed right on it. But look at this. Oh, he just drove Cowboy Bob Orton into the steps, and now he catches Roddy Piper, who was trying to get him from behind.
Headbutt by Snuka here on the floor. That's going to concuss Roddy Piper.
It may very well have. And look at Piper. He doesn't look like he knows where he is.
Superfly taking advantage. Oh, he turns his back to the fans for a moment, and Piper takes advantage. Snuka and Orton both up there on the apron momentarily. I can't speak. Momentarily. And it's Piper coming up with a headbutt of all things.
Yeah, but I would do that against somebody else, not against Superfly Jimmy Snuka, because it had no effect whatsoever.
Well, that running power slam definitely did, and Piper is in trouble once again. Into the corner of the Islanders. Tag is made. Piper is getting ready to go one-on-one with Haku. Flying shoulder tackle up the top rope, and the Rowdy one is in trouble. Again into the corner. There's a tag made. Quick tags now coming in as the Islanders double teaming here. Roddy Piper, what are they going to do with him? Elbow by Tama, and Roddy Piper's in trouble.
The Hot Scott better figure something out pretty quickly, because Tama is really extracting some revenge here.
Look at these quick tags. I am so impressed right now. The Islanders never looked any better than they do tonight. And what better time to look this good than WrestleMania? Capacity crowd on hand, the folks watching us live in the Felt Forum, along with all of you here on the Nation Network. And Piper with the inverted atomic knee drop, and that got the attention of Haku. I don't care how tough you are, that one will definitely slow you down. Look at Tama with a headbutt. Haku goes for the cover. Will that be enough? Save was made by Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Piper trying to make it to the corner, and Haku better not allow the tag. He's going to. Ace Cowboy Bob Orton with a shoulder block. Down he goes. The Cowboy choking him out. Right in front of his teammates, no less. Bob Orton has him on the floor. He's going to go for the pile driver. Oh, no, not on the concrete floor.
That's exactly what they had done to Tama. Now, I'll say this much, and there's no good way of being pile driven on the floor, but when Orndorff does it, he has a little extra that he puts on. He jumps up into it. Now Snuka's down the floor with Cowboy Bob Orton as well.
This battle continues. Oh, Snuka driven onto the concrete. And there's a power slam, and right now, Cowboy Bob Orton doing a really good job for his team. Might not be happy about it, but we can't take away from what he's accomplishing. There's a 2 count, and Haku just barely got that shoulder up. Butterfly has him up. Oh, couldn't hold him. Nice move right there by Haku to reverse it, using the momentum of Bob Orton against him. Here's the Irish whip to the ropes. Back out, brought back, body drop. Cowboy Bob Orton now with a double axe handle right to the back. Haku is down. Irish whip. Sends him to the ropes now. Back out front he comes. Double shoulder tackle. Perfectly executed right there. Nice block right there by Haku. Back and forth matchup right here.
Yeah, both teams have really looked good here tonight. I feel like the Islanders have had the better chemistry thus far for the most part, but there are moments where Piper's group really has come through.
Orndorff slowly getting back to his feet. Haku making him pay. Into the corner. There's the tag made, and Tama one more time against the man who almost ended his career. Oh, that one caught him right on the chin. There's a cover and a count of 1. There's 2. Almost got retribution.
Saw Piper coming in, but he was too little too late. Never would have made it in time.
And now Tama firing up the guard and crowd here. Oh, he got caught.
If there's one thing I got to say about the Islanders tonight, and they've all been guilty of it, playing to the fans and allowing their men, their opponents more accurately, off the hook when they almost had it over with. Right now, Tama's again, he's in control, but you've got to put him away. You can't be worried about the fans. You can celebrate with the fans when it's all over.
Couldn't have said it any better. Now, nice slam setting up Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And Tama one more time now. What has he got in mind? Waiting for Orndorff to get up to his feet. Oh, what a crossbody! He got him with that one. Orndorff is not moving. Tama to the top rope. This could be it. Retribution. He got him. Goes for the cover. And it's Mr. Wonderful saved by Cowboy Bob Orton. And now the tag made to the Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Snuka ties up. Has him up in the air. And now running power slam. Nicely executed. Snuka from the top rope. Oh, this could be it. There's the Superfly Swan, and he got him. There's no getting out of it this time. And it's a big win for the Superfly Jimmy Snuka and the Islanders.
This is the retribution they were looking for. This is what they wanted to see happen. Rowdy Roddy Piper, watching his team go down and defeat Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, takes the loss after what he did to Tama. This was retribution, and you know the Islanders were targeting Orndorff.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen, that this is exactly what the Islanders wanted, especially Tama. We see the Superfly cross-body block perfectly executed. Look at the headbutt there in the corner. Piper getting a little too close to the fire.
That's really what this came down to, is they were playing with fire. Now, again, they didn't know who their opponents were going to be coming in here tonight, but they were awfully confident that you could put any three across from them and it would not matter, and clearly that's not the case.
There's the big flying Superfly splash up the top rope, giving the Islanders the big victory here at WrestleMania. Big win indeed for that group, and we'll be back with more here at WrestleMania.
The following contest is a special.
We are ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the Intercontinental Championship to be decided here tonight. Tito Santana, the former champion, looking to reclaim that championship title if he can, as he gets ready to go one-on-one with the man who took the title from him, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, I was talking to Tito Santana earlier, and I can tell you right now, he's never been more focused on a wrestling match in his life than he is on this one here tonight, and I believe him when he says it.
I have no doubt either. Tito Santana, one of the all-time greats here at the World Wrestling Federation. You see him focusing at the entrance here of Bret the Hitman Hart. What a match this is promising to be with two of the legendary greats of professional wrestling. When it comes to technical wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, you won't find two men who can do it any better than these two.
And that's the sad thing about it when you think about it. Bret the Hitman Hart is capable of doing all that, but then he aligns himself with somebody like Jimmy Hart. And not for anything, but Jimmy Hart does not instill in his men sportsmanship and fair play. Those are just not words that are in the dictionary of Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart. And because these guys are young and up-and-coming talents, they are following their leader, and their leader is basically saying, cut whatever corners you need to do. And now the fact that he's the Intercontinental Champion, it's only going to further enforce that his way is the right way.
Very good observation as well. And hopefully, at some point in time, perhaps, Bret the Hitman Hart will see the error of his ways.
Introducing the challenger. From Toluca, Mexico, weighing in at 234 pounds, Tito Santana. And his opponent, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 235 pounds, the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Bret the Hitman Hart.
The Hitman Bret Hart going up against Tito Santana for that, the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. One of the most prestigious titles in all of professional wrestling.
Santana taking a good long look at that one too, and you got to remember, Santana, the belt that he was wearing wasn't that belt that's there now. This will be the first time for him if he can find a way to get that away from the Hitman Bret Hart.
Bell Sounds action is underway. Referee Danny Davis is there for the count of one, and right out the back door. Danny Davis now challenging. Oh, look at this. He's going to ask him if he wants to give it up to the Boston Crab. No.
Well, Danny Davis was brought in for this match. He's the senior referee. And because of what's on the line here, they wanted to make sure.
Another one count. Santana now going to work on the head and neck. And now Tito going to work on the arm. Look at this, asking him if he wants to give it up, and the Hitman comes right out of it and says, not a chance. And now the Hitman in control, and Santana rolling out to the floor. What in the world is going on with Danny Davis? The Hitman comes off the ropes and he drops one down on the chest. And now has her the Boston Crab. Santana close to the ropes. He's going to have to find a way.
Well, he could have just reached out and grabbed those ropes, but he didn't.
Danny Davis trying to get Santana to open up the fisticuffs. Here's a cover, and there's a count of one. We talked earlier on about the Hitman Bret Hart. And now the Hitman on the receiving end as Santana really starting to unload. Off the ropes, back out front, swinging a miss. Nice move right there by the Hitman. Clothesline, down goes Santana. Danny Davis with some words for these two men, and the Hitman going to work on the leg of Santana. Here's a count of one. There's two, and almost got him.
That was very close indeed, and Danny Davis trying to keep his eye on the mouth of the South Jimmy Hart as well.
Oh, he just took out the mouth of the South Jimmy Hart. What is he doing here? Danny Davis taking matters into his own hands. Davis has got that megaphone. Oh, wait a moment. He just caught Santana with it. What is going on here?
He just caught Tito Santana with a megaphone. Are you kidding me?
Santana just got drilled with that megaphone. Boot to the midsection. Has him up. Pile driver. Goes for the cover. Now Danny Davis is there. Here, give me a break. Are you kidding me? What just happened?
Tito Santana just got screwed over. That's what just happened.
Danny Davis apparently in the pocket of Jimmy the Mouth of the South Heart.
You want to talk about a screw job? You just saw it right there.
My word, ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought you've seen it all here at WrestleMania, what? Oh my goodness, I am absolutely beside myself right now. I cannot believe.
Well, President Jack Tunney's going to have to look into this. This can't be allowed to stand.
It is a long-standing tradition that the referee's verdict is the final word in the match, but we all saw what just happened. Oh, I bet you're happy and patting each other on the back. Are you kidding me? Fans will be back with some more action. This is absolutely a travesty.
He's American made.
Wrestling fans, make sure you join us on Saturday mornings right here for Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. All of the greats from the past will be right here on Saturday mornings here on the Nation Network. Names like Rowdy Roddy Piper, Bruno Sammartino, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Magnificent Morocco, and many, many more. All the action right here on the Nation Network Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you gonna do when the legends of wrestling run wild on you?
All right, fans, we are back here at Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania, proving to be everything we thought it would be and more. Tito Santana just got jobbed right out of the Intercontinental Championship, but I've got to believe that's not the last we're going to hear of him and Bret the Hitman Hart. And now what is this with Danny Davis, of all people?
The referee Danny Davis, abhorrent behavior in that match, and I've got to believe Jack Tunney's going to be looking into this, and something's going to come of this. There's just no way that can stand. We cannot have officials going rogue like that in a title match, no less.
Well, I understand some swift action already taking place because he was supposed to referee this match as well, and he's been pulled. Senior referee turning his back on everybody, the organization, the men and women in the back, the fans here.
And here we go, taking a look at the challengers, the number one contenders, the Killer Bees, coming off of a big loss this past Saturday on Saturday night's main event. And the real question is, how are they going to rebound from that loss?
The psychological portion of wrestling is something that a lot of people take for granted. It's not just the physicality. It's not just being in great shape and having all the athletic talent in the world. At the end of the day, a lot of times, it's the person who mentally is most prepared that gets the win.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 470 pounds, Jim Bruce and B. Ryan Bland.
The Killer Bees ready for action, and they look like they are ready.
515 pounds, Brutus Beefcake, and the Hammer, Greg Valentine.
The Dream Team, Valentine, Beefcake have really been on a roll.
Yeah, Luscious Johnny V doing a heck of a job with his tag team. leading them all the way to the promised land. Tag Team Championship gold here.
Jumping Jim Brunzell going to kick things off for his team. There's the bell. Action underway. Oh, and Beefcake wasting no time at all.
Well, one thing I can tell you for sure, and that is that Luscious Johnny V and the Dream Team were watching Saturday night's main event. They saw what happened, and they're going right after. And look at Brunzell. He's already been split open.
Brunzell with that knee right to the head, and he's already got the blood coming out. And I'll tell you, we talk about the psychological aspect of the game. It is very much indeed a possibility that Brunzell comes in here on a down note to begin with, and now sees out already in the opening moment. He's been busted open.
Out to the floor we go, and now the Hammer going to do some more punishment on him. Driving that knee into the head of Jim Brunzell here on the floor.
Anytime the action spills out to the floor at the Garden, it is going to be a dangerous situation. The concrete, the most unforgiving surface there is. And that's saying quite a bit in the world of professional wrestling, because there are a number of ways you can injure your opponent.
Yeah, well, right now, Valentine and Beefcake have been implementing just about each and every one of those ways. Jumpin' Jim Brunzell desperately needs to tag out of this match.
Valentine flying across with an elbow right to the chest, and now the Hammer from the middle rope. He wants him up. This match could be over very quickly. Axe handle to the head. Into the turnbuckle he goes, and now there's the tag made. Double team. Off the ropes, Brunzell. Double shoulder tackle, and he desperately has to get out of this match. Beefcake going for the cover, but the referee busy with Valentine. That buys Brunzell just a little bit of time. Jumping Jim back up now, and Beefcake doesn't realize it. From the top rope now, and Brunzell catches him and slams him down to the mat. Get a load of it. What in the world with these managers already? Luscious Johnny Valiant distracting the referee, and Brutus making sure that Brunzell pays the price.
Well, we talked about it earlier on with Jimmy Hart and how he's got his men conditioned to believe in you take every shortcut you can. The same thing goes with Luscious Johnny V. And here's a small package roll-up, and that be enough.
Brunzell trying to sneak one, but you're going to have to do a better job than that on this team. They're called the Dream Team for a reason.
Brunzell should have made the tag. He was right there next to his tag team partner. He's got to get a fresh man in.
Well, indeed he does, but he wanted to get a parting shot in ahead of time. Unfortunately for him, it didn't backfire on him as Brunzell tags in to be Brian Blair. Now Blair, the fresh man for the Killer Bees. Valentine trying to get a shot in there. Look at this Luscious Johnny V once again going after the turnbuckle. Valentine is tagged in once again. Side headlock, nicely done. Well, B. Brian Blair targeting not one, but both tag team champions, and now going after the leg of Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine wears that leg brace. You can see it right there on his left leg, but we all know there's nothing wrong with that leg. He uses that to gain added advantage when he applies the figure four leg lock.
Double shoulder block, nicely done, and now jumping Jim Brunzell. Takes him over with that German suplex, nicely done. And now Brunzell didn't have a lot of time to rest.
No, he didn't. As a matter of fact, he may be back a little too soon if you're asking me.
Drops him straight down on his head. And now Beefcake back into the match. Brunzell not sure where he's at, much less who's. Oh, the sleeper hold is locked on him, and he just drops him down to the canvas. That could have been it right there. Off the ropes, and there's that knee.
Caught him right in the jaw with it. It's lights out, and the tag team championship will be remaining. Oh, look at this.
B. Brian Blair, desperation save. The Killer Bees not looking like they are ready to put this one away quite yet.
Yeah, I would definitely say that there is a lingering effect from what happened on Saturday night's main event. Look at Brunzell. What is he doing? He's going for the tag, and he makes the hot tag, and here comes Brian Blair as he and Beefcake collide.
Flying head scissor, nicely done, takes him down, and now Blair gonna have to turn the tempo in this one around if they're gonna have any chance whatsoever. But the tag team champions right now are in complete control of this match. Irish whip to the ropes. Beefcake back out front, dropped down by B. Brian Blair. Nice leapfrog. Oh, and he caught him right to the midsection, and then the back fist right to the face.
Yeah, he's not going to like that. Beefcake looks at that as his moneymaker. Very proud of his appearance. There's a tag made to Brunzell, and I'm not so sure about Brunzell right now. He hasn't been doing so well.
Brunzell, look at the chin lock on him, but Beefcake able to get a foot over the bottom rope. Jumping Jim Brunzell. Having a rough go of it here at WrestleMania. He's got him in a submission hold, but it's on the floor. That's not going to get it done.
Well, not only that, but Beefcake able to get out of it and makes him pay the price.
Thrown back in under the bottom rope, and now Beefcake in control. Has him up. Beefcake with the Irish whip to the ropes. Back out front, back body drop. Oh, Brunzell definitely come crashing down on that one.
Jumping Jim Brunzell has tried everything he can, but he has just been playing from behind, man. I've not seen him. Mentally, I just don't think he's in this match.
That submission on Saturday night apparently still etched into the mindset of Jim Brunzell, perhaps the Killer Bees in general, as the tag is now made to Greg the Hammer Valentine. Valentine goes for a cover. Save made by B. Brian Blair, ladies and gentlemen. And Valentine targeting the arm now of Blair. Irish whips him over the top rope to the floor he goes. And now there goes B. Brian Blair as well.
Both Killer Bees are on the floor right now, and I tell you, this is not going their way.
What is going on here? What is this?
They've got masks. I'm not even sure who the legal man is.
He got him. He got him.
Who got him?
I don't know, but I can tell you this. We've got new tag team champions. You talk about mass confusion, ladies and gentlemen. We just saw it here at WrestleMania.
Hi, it's me, Antonio Banderas. When I use my Bosch fridge, it makes me feel different. It makes me feel like Antonio Banderas.
Well, I hear you, brother. Because when I use my Bosch power tools, I feel like the Macho Man Randy Savage. You dig it?
I do dig it, Randy.
Whip bang!
Powerful power tools.
Phenomenal appliances.
Rotary hammers.
Dishwashers.
Mighty sauce.
Induction cooktops.
Randy!
Coming. Impact drivers.
Refrigerators.
Watch this. Elbow. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
History made here at Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you what, unbelievable what we have seen here tonight.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules match. Making his way to the ring from the land of the rising sun, weighing in at 558 pounds, Yokozuna.
Yokozuna, over 500 pounds. Getting ready to go one-on-one with Sergeant Slaughter, and this is a war. No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. This indeed is a war that has been raging for some time now.
Well, tonight it comes to a head. Boot camp match, that's something that's right up Sergeant Slaughter's alley, and we are going to see it right here tonight.
Coming in from Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen.
From Paris Island, South Carolina, weighing in at 306 pounds, Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter with Old Glory. Heading down the aisle, a date with destiny indeed.
Yeah, we know one thing right now. Sergeant Slaughter has made it very clear. The war with the Unified Nations, to be more exact, the Unified Nations, the war with them is going on, and we've seen already the Cobra Corps victorious earlier tonight. Now it's time for the leaders here to battle it out. Will it come to an end here at WrestleMania is yet to be seen, but I can tell you right now, there's going to be a winner here tonight.
Sergeant Slaughter and the Cobra Corps have had their hands full with this team. I expect nothing to change. Slaughter comes charging in, and Yokozuna was right there and ready for it. Chop to the throat. And now the big man just continues to chop away at Sergeant Slaughter, and the crowd not too happy about things. Knee to the midsection, and down goes Sergeant Slaughter.
Slaughter getting up slowly, and right now he's going to have to find a way. The one thing he has a hard time doing, and that is getting Yokozuna off his feet. The man is a mass. Look at him.
Just standing over Sergeant Slaughter as if he's not the least bit impressed or threatened or even concerned with the leader of the Cobra Corps. Shoulder block, and Slaughter goes out to the floor. Yokozuna, what is he doing? What? Stay away from us.
He's got a steel chair.
It's all legal in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he just drove it right into the head of Sergeant Slaughter, and he's busted open.
Yeah, he lacerated him with that steel chair, and Slaughter early on in this one is a bloody mess.
Slaughter has got to try to come up with a solution here at some point in time. Oh, my goodness. It is all legal, ladies and gentlemen. The boot camp match, it all is good to go. The only rule, pinfall or submission inside the ring, and there's a big German suplex here on the floor. He's got a sledgehammer. Are you kidding me? Oh, he caught him right in the head with that sledgehammer. Slaughter using a sledgehammer to drop Yokozuna.
Talk about an equalizer, and that's what gives him a big opportunity in this match, I think, is the fact that he can use a weapon like that on Yokozuna, and without that, I don't know that he has a fair chance in this match.
Yokozuna comes right back with that 500-pound frame and delivers. Slaughter is up, and he's in a bad spot right now. Oh, crushing down on top of the trash can. Look at him flatten that thing out.
Sergeant Slaughter cannot be at 100%.
Not even close. Are you kidding me? And now what in the world? Yokozuna, he's got a table. What is he going to do with this?
Yokozuna putting that table into the ring now.
Slaughter from behind. Trying to go after Yokozuna, and Yokozuna just continues to throw Slaughter off. Oh, there's an uppercut, and Yokozuna down.
Right back up, though. Slaughter can't put any real hurting on Yokozuna. I mean, he stuns him momentarily, but he hasn't been able to do anything that has put a substantial dent in the armor, if you will, of Yokozuna.
My understanding, Mr. Fuji in the locker room at this time, he was banned from ringside after what we saw earlier tonight. Slaughter going for the cover and got a 1 count on Yokozuna.
Slaughter loading up for that clothesline, perhaps.
He's got Yokozuna down after the shoulder tackle, but we know that that's not going to be enough to keep him down. Slaughter now, look at this. He's got the ring steps in there. Off the ropes he goes. Shot to the midsection, and down goes Yokozuna. The boot camp match is in full effect right now. All of these things are legal. Slaughter busted open here. He's got those steel steps up there. What's he going to do with them? He caught Yokozuna right in the head. Slaughter stomping away. Belly to belly. Nicely done by Yokozuna. He's got Slaughter up for the powerbomb, perhaps. Oh, right into those steel steps. And that's going to be all she wrote for Sergeant Slaughter. He kicked out.
Sergeant Slaughter, where he's digging that out from, I have no idea. But look at Yokozuna.
What is happening here? Well, wait a minute. Slaughter setting him over the top rope, and now Yokozuna pulls him into the top rope. He just set that table on fire. Are you kidding me?
It's a boot camp match. It's all legal. We've got a flaming table in the middle of Madison Square Garden.
Oh, Slaughter! He just went straight through it. That's going to be all she wrote. Slaughter still reaching down and kicking out.
Just when you think you've seen it all, ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania comes along.
Off the ropes. Oh, he went for it. He missed. Slaughter sending Yokozuna into the corner. Follows him up. Big splash. Near 300 pounds of Sergeant Slaughter. And now he's got the steel chair into the back of Yokozuna.
Yeah, take a look at that chair. He just mangled that chair across the back of Yokozuna.
The Cobra Clutch. He's got it on him. The Cobra clutch is cinched in. Yokozuna struggling just to survive.
This might be all she wrote right here for Yokozuna if he can't find a way out, and I don't think he's going to.
Slaughter has got it on him. He's got it on him, and he makes him tap. Sergeant Slaughter victorious.
What an unbelievable battle this was. Slaughter took some of the most unbelievable damage that I've ever seen, and he manages to come back.
Fans, this one is a different level. Without question, without doubt, this one took things to a whole other level than anything we've ever seen before.
Well, the Cobra Corps finding a way to get it done here at Madison Square Garden, and I'm not even sure Madison Square Garden will be the same after tonight.
If you think it isn't the same after tonight so far, we still have the ultimate main event to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen, and I, for one, cannot wait to see this one. Big win for Sergeant Slaughter. We'll be back with our main event. Stay with us.
What? The 80s called. They want their store back.
It's time for a new Radio Shack. Come see what's possible when we do things together.
Wrestling fans, it is time for the main event of the evening.
It's a Hell in a Cell match. And is for the Worldwide Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
It has been called now the Hell in a Cell. They did not want to have any controversy tonight. This cell will surround the ringside area. It has a roof on it. There will be no interference by the Heated family tonight. Andre the Giant walks alone. He will fight alone, and he will win or lose alone here tonight when he faces Hulk Hogan.
The feud between Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan has been stretched out over the last 2.5 months.
Indeed, since Andre took that championship title from Bruno Sammartino, injuring him in the process, forcing Bruno to name a replacement in the return match, and shocking the world by bringing in Hulk Hogan. Ever since that first meeting right here at Madison Square Garden where nothing was settled, Andre the Giant was counted out in that one. They have traded countouts and disqualifications, matches that really had no conclusive outcome, but tonight that all changes.
The championship belt made for a giant champion.
Indeed, it's been well documented that Bobby the Brain Heenan had to commission the company that creates these magnificent championships to make a longer version of it to go around the waist of Andre the Giant. Here comes the challenger. Madison Square Garden on its feet, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Hulk Hogan.
The Hulkster is here, and Madison Square Garden on their feet. They have adopted him as one of their own.
No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a look at the capacity crowd here, welcoming Hulkamania to WrestleMania. It's about to go down, ladies and gentlemen. The sold-out crowd here at the Garden on their feet, and I dare say they are standing in the Felt Forum as well.
You know, we hear it all the time. The immovable object, the unstoppable force. We're going to witness it in real time right here as part of WrestleMania.
Indeed, we are. That is what they'll be fighting for, ladies and gentlemen.
Introducing the challenger from Venice Beach, California, weighing in at 303 pounds, the Immortal Hogan.
Look at the look in his eyes. He is laser focused.
Weighing in at 520 pounds, the Worldwide Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant does not have that laser look. He has a look of disgust.
These two men just about came together right there at the end of the intros. They will wait for the bell. There it is, and now it is official, ladies and gentlemen. Hogan could not stop Andre. Andre choking out Hulk Hogan. All legal. This is still steel cage rules, but there's no escape. There's no escaping the cage for a victory. You must pin or get a submission in this one. The champion now working on the head and neck area of Hulk Hogan. This crowd trying to will Hulk Hogan back to his feet, but Andre, look at that, 500 pounds walking across the midsection. Good luck. And now pulling back on the face is Andre the Giant.
Hulk Hogan's going to have to figure something out, and he does. He gets up, and a smart move right there to attack the leg of Andre.
But Andre right back up. He's got Hogan. Oh, and he drops him out on the floor. Sends Andre, sending Hogan flying down here ringside. Normally a steel cage will be wrapped right around the apron, but this time there's enough room indeed for these combatants to move from one end to the next, and they're taking advantage of that right now, especially one Andre the Giant.
Andre sending Hogan back in under the bottom rope, and thus far the champion has definitely been in complete control.
Well, Hogan knew he was going to have to find some sort of a way to come up with an answer that nobody has been able to come up with. And Andre going for the cover. One count only, and Hogan able to kick out the back. Small package right there by Hogan. Has got Andre.
Can you imagine the championship changing hands on a small package inside of the steel structure?
Hogan is in a Boston Crab. He's in trouble. Referee there to see if he wants to give it up, and he says absolutely not.
Andre just keeps on coming up with the answers. Every time Hogan thinks he's figured it out, Andre comes right back for more.
I seem to recall a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Terminator, and that's exactly what Andre the Giant appears to be. You cannot stop him. He just keeps coming forward. Oh, 500 pounds down on the chest of Hulk Hogan, and that might be all she wrote.
Well, here's where we're going to see if Andre the Giant learned a lesson from Saturday night's main event. He goes for the cover, and Hogan just barely kicks out.
Andre had the match won at Saturday night's main event with that very move, but instead of going for the pin like he did here, he allowed the Hulkamaniacs to survive. Hogan grabbing that top rope, and now has caught Andre. Oh, then Andre crashing to the floor.
500 pounds crash landing on the concrete here at Madison Square Garden. That's going to do something. That will definitely have an effect on Andre the Giant and now Hulk Hogan. And Andre the Giant battling it out here ringside. Madison Square Garden. World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. And it's Hogan with a headbutt. And Andre once again sent flying. This battle continuing. They can fight as much as they want, wherever they want, but it can only be decided inside the squared circle. Andre sent crashing down one more time. Hogan trying to wear him out here ringside, and that might be a strategy. Whether or not it's one that he can successfully employ or not, we are going to have to wait and see. And there's Andre coming right back, though. Big right hands by the champion. And Hogan with a knee right to the midsection. Into the steps here ringside. Andre is hurt. Well, much like Sergeant Slaughter using steel chairs to wear down Yokozuna, Hulk Hogan's going to use whatever he can get his hands on here and try and take down Andre the Giant. I don't blame him. It's all legal in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Hogan, indeed, going to have to try and find a way. And look at Andre. Could be a big win right here for Andre the Giant. Hogan kicking out. This battle continues on here, Madison Square Garden. Andre the Giant choking out the challenger. Hogan wasting no time getting back in the ring, and personally, I think he should have stayed outside. Well, as long as he stays outside the ring, he can't get pinned and he can't be made to submit, but he also seemed to have the most success with Andre outside the ring. Andre, that size 24 right down across the back. And there's 500 pounds crashing down on Hulk Hogan, and that's it. No, he still finds a way to kick out. Andre has him up and drops Hogan into the top turnbuckle. Hogan collapsing. He got him. Hogan stuns him with a big boot. Irish whip off the ropes. Dropped down by Andre. Can you believe that? There's the immovable force. Hogan barely getting the shoulder up. Andre the Giant now attacking Hulk Hogan. Irish whips him to the ropes, and Hogan out over the top and out to the floor. Well, we mentioned it before. This is where Hogan has had the most success in the match with Andre the Giant, and where I suggest that he definitely wants to look to stay. Jawbreaker, and Andre just got caught with that one. Hogan sends him crashing into the steel cage. Andre the Giant now being manhandled for the first time by the challenger, and Hulk Hogan again into the cage, and he has rocked the champion. Andre bringing Hogan back in the hard way. Clothesline. Andre down in the corner now. Hogan choking him out. It's all legal in this match, and Hulk Hogan realizing he's going to have to stoop to some tactics here if you're going to have a chance against this giant.
And Hogan hammering away on Andre the Giant now. This crowd at the Garden counting along. And there it is, the 10 count.
You've heard about a 10-gun salute. Well, that's about as much of a salute as Andre's going to get here.
Oh, and he set him crashing into the steel once again. What is he doing here? Hogan has got a table.
Andre threw a chair into the ring. Hogan goes in.
This press on Andre the Giant and now Hulk Hogan. We saw that table earlier with Sergeant Slaughter and Yokozuna. And we saw just how much damage it did. Uppercut and Andre is down.
He caught that steel chair with his fist. Andre the Giant shoving that chair right into the face of Hulk Hogan.
Hogan fighting his way back against Andre the Giant. Shot to the midsection and another one. And now has Andre to the ropes and out to the floor goes Andre the Giant. These two men not going to stop until one can't go any further.
Andre the Giant has found that on the floor, Hulk Hogan is the successor.
Into that steel cage once again, Andre the Giant. Hogan and Andre tying up. Oh, Andre with a big uppercut that time. And another one, and Hogan is stunned. The Hulkster with Andre. Continues to ram the Giant into the steel cage. He went through the wall. Hogan just sent him through the wall.
This thing is broken out of even the cage couldn't contain this one.
Andre the Giant now with Hulk Hogan, and they're battling it out here ringside. The whole idea of this structure was to contain the battle, but it's not happening. Hulk Hogan. What in the world is he doing?
He's climbing the cage.
Andre is climbing it as well. Are you kidding me? These two men are battling it out on top of this steel structure. The champion is down. The challenger is in control. And Andre has been busted open. Hogan has him in a bear hug. Referee is right there to see if Andre wants to give it up. I thought it was supposed to take place inside the squared circle.
Referee's actually gone up the top of the cage with him. This match is live on top of the cell.
Andre has got Hogan up, and Hogan managing. Oh, this is dangerous right now. I don't mind telling you, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing good comes from this. Andre dropped down on the top of that cage, and how it hasn't collapsed is beyond me. The battle rages on. Over 20 feet above the ring. Andre the Giant never has been in a position like this, I can tell you that right now. Almost went over the edge.
Hulkamania is running wild at Madison Square Garden for sure. And I don't know if there is anything that will contain this feud.
Andre comes charging in. Hogan caught him. And suddenly, things not going the right way for Andre the Giant.
Another big uppercut, and Hogan not done yet. He is absolutely out to put Andre the Giant down and out once and for all.
Drops the leg here on top of the cage. Hulk Hogan is targeting the champion and wearing him out. What's he doing here? Oh, the choke slam.
I thought he was going to send him crashing for a moment there.
He's got him. He's got him up. Oh, Andre all the way through. Andre just missed that table. And now Hogan has got it. He's got Hogan, has got Andre. Goes for the scoop again, and this time Andre not going to have any part of it. Here's the cover. Reversal. Shoulders are down. Another reversal. Andre's a busted open mess right now. Hogan slides over the top and gets the better of Andre.
Man, this thing is really turning into something more than I ever anticipated.
I don't think anybody could have anticipated what we're seeing in this one. Referee in the way. Hogan, belly to back suplex. I thought he might have put him right through that table.
Would have been the end of the match if he would have found a way to do it.
And now Hogan has got Andre. Oh, Andre fights his way out of the corner. Up in the air, and Hogan again, able to slide down.
Andre is worn out right now. He doesn't have the stamina.
We knew that if this match went long, it would be the advantage of the challenger, and that seems to be the case right now. Steel chair right to the head. Hogan has got Andre the Giant. What's he going to do with him? Hogan now has got Andre. He's going to try and suplex him right here, and he does through the table. The crowd on its feet right now. Hogan to the ropes. He drops the leg. Referee into position. 2, and Andre manages to kick out. He's going to do it again, Andre. Just like it happened to Big John Studd on Saturday night's main event. We have a new World Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen. What a match.
What a battle, what a match we've had here at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, unlike anything we've ever seen before.
This thing was personal as it gets. Hulk Hogan had to withstand the onslaught of the Giant, and he did. And he manages to walk away as the brand new World Heavyweight Champion. What a night of wrestling it has been.
We've seen it all here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've got new champions crowned. We've got certain champions retaining. It has been an all-out battle tonight. Look at this. Two of the biggest names and two of the biggest physical stars in professional wrestling battling 20 feet up in the air.
Oh my goodness, this crowd has come unglued. Fans, what a night. We thank you for watching. We thank you for staying with us throughout a tumultuous season. We got through it together here. We are indeed one nation.
Here's your winner and new Worldwide Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the
Hulk Hogan victorious, and the new World Heavyweight Champion crowned here at Madison Square Garden. This has been WrestleMania. We'll see you soon. Until then, so long.